What's up, Traffic Sales and Profit Show family? It is Monday. That means it's time to ask Lamar anything. And guess what? My name is Lamar. So every Monday, I'm taking questions from our Traffic Sales and Profit Facebook group, where business owners just like you are dropping their most pressing business challenges into the group. And I'm going to tackle those questions right here, right now. Let's jump in. How do I make key decisions? Do I use my gut feelings, facts, or a combination of the two? All right, that's a great question because I think most people use too much emotion. And most people, like a lot of entrepreneurs, just solely use emotion. So when I'm thinking about, what I want to do, where I want to go, what's the vision for the company, first thing is I'm trying to think big. But as I think big, I have to have a plan that actually gets me to the big thing. So I want to think big and say, hey, you know what? This is the goal. This is the revenue goal. This is the people goal. This is the customer goal, the client goal, whatever it may be. This is the vision of where I want to go, but then I have to have a plan, a strategic plan that actually gets me to what the actual vision is. So you got to make it make sense. But then, right, you talk about, hey, like the gut feeling that so many of you may want to follow, like that can be the vision piece, but like I said, it got to be strategy. And when I talk about the gut feeling and strategy together, like inherently in there, if what you want to do is big enough, there's going to be risk involved. So when I look at, okay, I want to do this big thing, I look at, okay, here's a strategy to get there, and I'm faced with risk. What I then want to do is say, hey, how can I take calculated risk? How can I not lose everything? How about this, right? The business. Maybe you keep the business, but you lose all your money. Maybe you keep your money, but you lose your team. I've seen that happen a lot of times. Maybe you keep, the business, your money, and your team, but you lose your family. How about that? So it's all about just getting to a point where, you dream big, but you got actual strategy and not just pie in the sky thoughts and ideas, but strategy to actually get there. And when you're faced with risk, you can take calculated risk. How do I, calculate what the risk is? The easiest and down and dirtiest way, I just do it instantly in my head, is I think about what is the primary thing that I sell. And if I take this risk, because most times a risk has some type of cost associated with it. The two most prevalent costs you'll see is either financial cost or time cost. So for example, let's go financial. Because I need to take a risk, and maybe it's like $100,000 risk. I'll say, okay, like what is the end goal of what I'm selling or what I'm doing? If it's a product or service that I offer, what's the actual price of that? What's gonna be my average order value, my AOV? And I'm gonna take that $100,000 divided by the AOV. And then I'm gonna know how many things I gotta sell, right? How many clients I gotta get, how many products I gotta move, whatever it may be, in order for me to get a return on my investment. And then I ask myself, okay, based on what I'm trying to do and what I need to do to get a return on my investment, how is that going to lean into each other? Like, is that risk something that I say, hey, we can actually do it? Or even in a worst case scenario, what's going to happen? So I'm looking at my gut, I'm looking at the strategy, I'm calculating risk, and then I'm making moves from there. You can do the same thing. Is there a decision that I regret or I think or thought that I couldn't come back from? I really don't regret decisions. It sounds good, but really in life, I really don't regret decisions because I don't really view things that happen incorrectly as like these terrible pieces. Oftentimes what they are is learning lessons. So it's so many things I can look back on. And most time it wasn't that I just like did heinously the wrong thing. It was just like I didn't know what I didn't know. So once I learn those things, that it's important I don't make the same mistakes again. But while I don't know what I don't know, I'm gonna make mistakes. Like things are gonna go, one way when they should have went another, or I'm gonna make a decision that may be incorrect. But all the time while I'm making those decisions, when they're incorrect, I'm learning from them. And when I'm learning from them, right, I always talk about LAO inside of Traffic Sales and Profit. You gotta launch something. Once you launch it, you analyze. Once you analyze, you optimize. And that's a completed cycle that goes over and over and over again. You just continue to do it. So as I'm working through different processes, I'm working through different ideas in the business, I'm working through different strategies, I'm working through different launches, right? I'm working through, trying to get the right people on the bus and get the right people that's on the bus in the right seats. All these different things that happen inside of your business. I'm still able to kind of move through those different things, right? Every single time, launch, analyze, optimize. And as I'm going through them, again, like, do things always work? Most of the time, they don't. I tell people all the time, like, we win more than most people because we just try more than most people. We try more than most people. That means we actually lose more than most people. But because we try so much, and because even we lose so much, that means the wins that we get seem consistent. So that every month it seems like something great is happening, because every month is probably a handful of things that didn't happen. But guess what? We launch, we analyze, we optimize, we try again. We brush ourselves off, we keep moving forward. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Traffic Sales and Profit Show. Hey, do me a favor, if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe and follow us on this platform right now to make sure you do not miss a beat as we drop new episodes and additional content every single week. Also, if you'd like to get access to a free paperback copy of my book, access to the TSP Traffic Sales and Profit free Facebook group, our challenges, resources, our events, and more, make sure you visit us at www.trafficsalesandprofit.com/podcast.